everybody, it's Julie. I'm here with my finished challenge. Now, for mine, I will be working on this journal for a long time, so my journal itself is not finished. But my pieces are all made, and I used all of the elements. I'm missing a couple of the papers. I don't know if the dog ate them. I know that every once in a while they'd fall on the floor, and he tends to pick things up and steal them. So, but I know I used everything. So, this is my May Mystery Mayhem Junk Journal for the May Mystery Mayhem Junk Journal Challenge. I chose to use this little soap dish, and I cut out all of the elements and the things that we were supposed to use and put them in here. And I drew one thing to make, and then anywhere from 1 to 5, I think I even did 6 one time, items to use on the element. So the element was the mystery. When you added in all the other things, that was the mayhem. And I had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to have this journal and have it ready to be able to start putting things in. So, as you all know, my journal I made to put memories and stories and things about my mom that I lost. She passed away on the March 31st. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, my cover has it's a cover. That was one of the elements. It has a fancy closure. I chose this bracelet or choker, excuse me, and it attaches to the hook here, and it can get bigger as my journal gets bigger. And I have a doily here, and I used metal on the cover. So I have metal chain, I have metal charms. I also used paper flowers and bling and a collage. So all of those things and fabric. All those things were used on the cover. So we can go ahead and put those in our dish. So I have, my tassel is not attached yet because I have not gotten out the really good glue to put that picture that I'm going to be putting on here. So I have a picture, and you can see that in the cover part 2 video. I'm going to be putting a picture on the outside here where you would see this from the outside. So I think my tassel itself is going to hang in the front because I don't want to block that picture. So there's one of my tassels. So this was one of the mini challenge in the challenge, and it has receipts in it. It has a pocket. I think we used the homemade washi, paper flowers, messy thread, and bling. Okay, and fabric. So I think that was a homemade washi, and then there's a little paper clip there to hold it. And this will go inside, and I have a box of things that will go inside as I'm ready to use them. And on some things I will go ahead and have you watch, or I'll make a video as I'm using it. Some things I won't. So this was another one of our mini challenge in the challenge, and it had junk mail. This came from some junk mail and my guest check, and I added it onto this and added some yarn at the top. Here is one of the layered collages. It has the homemade washi tape, some wrapping paper, and my mom's favorite number was 14, and this seal, and it's a pocket, and this will also go into my embellishment box and will be able to go in here. Okay, so then I have this postcard. Isn't that adorable? This is out of the vintage Mimi's So Darn Cute junk journal kit that's at the Dearjuliejulie Etsy shop, and this was the postcard that I got in the kit that I had. We have a postage stamp, a journaling card, a little tiny postcard, part of a guest check, some lace. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on here. Lace. And so this will eventually go in, and it will be a flip out. Okay. We have handmade washi. This is also my book paper pocket, and that's another paper that got lost. So it has handmade washi on it, and it has an image from Nevermore Creation 17. I think this is from her Tickle Pink. So there is a pocket. We have a guest check with some stamping on it, and it also has paper flowers, handmade washi, and bling. We did it, folded it up, so we also had journal line space there and a pocket. So, and then we stamped there, and also can journal there. Okay, so paper ribbon ruffle, and I used the plant book. It had a spider plant when I was growing up. Mom always had spider plants in the house with lots and lots of babies. She's still at the house. There are still some outside, and there's bling and paper flowers. We have a doily and another hanging plant that with the macrame hanger, and it's on a library card that I added some note papers to, so we can have a little note paper thingy there. And this, again, this will also go into the book and be a flip out, and then I can put a picture here, and there is a pocket here as well. Okay, so that is my pile of goodies, and now we can go ahead and look through the journal. I have, like I said, I have a box, and it has embellishments that I've been putting aside to put in here, as well as the ones that I've made. Okay, so again, we have our pretty little dangle here, a rose, some little flowers. These were out of the vintage kit, as was this fabric, and I think the play money was too. I'm not positive though. Okay, so you open it up, and we have stenciling here with my new stencil that I got at Ben Franklin during this challenge. And we have another little tassel. This is a paper tassel, and I also added a little charm to it that I made. Large pocket here. We have junk mail. So we made this belly band out of junk mail. And there is a video for all of the elements. So there's a little pocket up here, and then this is a belly band. So it has a lot of space there that we can put something. We can go ahead and put this little guy up here. And this would be a pull tab pocket. It's not the one for this, for the challenge, but it could be. Okay. And this is on a piece of atlas. And we have some journaling papers, lots of papers. The pretty bag from Amore Fabrics, I actually put book paper in, and this is Easter egg dyed paper. I love that this said be unique. I have a really neat picture of me and my mom, and I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna put often the most memorable combos are unexpected. I'll probably leave that, or just leave off, or just the most memorable combos. I might block it out. So we've got some plants there, some more journaling places. There's lots of places to write in here. My mom's favorite flower was daffodils, so I have that card. Some more paper. This is the center of the signature, yellow rose, which was her favorite. And here are the signature tie dangles. And I had to stamp, so we stamped, and then I also added a button and a bead, and I tied them off, and then I glued the hanging thread. I glued it to itself, so we don't have a hanging string. So some more pages. Here's our pair of pockets. I haven't put anything in there yet, but both of these can have something put in them. And each minute that passes brings fond thoughts. So I can put pictures on the outside. I can put pictures and stories on the inside. Here is our playing card, and with fluffy flowers and bling, and I stapled the bottom of this fluffy flower, and then I continued to glue it, because usually things don't stick to a fluffy flower. And yes, those are teeth marks in my card. It fell down and Chip chewed it. Actually, he just bit it. Okay, so some more plants, succulents. That was my mom's favorite thing. The last few years, she had amazing succulents, and even at her funeral, we went through, and when we gave away some of the big plants, they dropped things, and I was like, well, we could give these away with like the instructions on how to do them at her funeral. And my dad and my brothers liked the idea, so that's what we did. And so anyway, she loves succulents. Here's my lace pocket. This is from the rescued wedding dress, and my mom rescued this wedding dress from some friends that were going through some stuff. So maybe I'll tell the story there about the rescued wedding dress. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. I did sew it in. This is more of the Easter egg dye paper, and we do have a bead dangle here with a charm. Some more book paper, the other side of that cool pocket, or yeah, the cool little bag. So more pages. There's the other side of the matte page, another large pocket. Here we have another bead dangle, and I love this one. This big part, the good thoughts, that was made by Georgia, and she sent it to me, and I finally got to use it. And then we have the umbrella and the beads for the other dangle. So there we go. I love this with the Martha Stewart paper. Here is a chair that's been planted, and yes, my mom did that kind of stuff, so maybe tell about that there. Like I said, lots and lots of places to write. Here is from the plant book, the Narcissus part, and then on this side there's a guest check, and there is I can put something in this little pocket here. There's some messy thread and flowers. We've got stenciling on this guest check, and here we have journal space lined. And there is, you know, usually I'll leave things open so that I can make a pocket. This is, well, this right here is the packaging from the stencil that when we opened it, there was no stencil, and I opened it on video, on camera. And there's a pocket back here that I can put something as well. We've got all these pockets that still need to be glued up. This is an amazing journal. Look at all these pages, you guys. You know, usually I have, everything is decorated, and I really tried to keep this one not decorated so that I can decorate it as I do the memories. So lace pocket, and I did a patchwork lace pocket because on that day I also drew stamping. I was like, well, how am I going to stamp on the lace? So I stamped on some fabric and added it to these other pieces of lace and made the lace pocket. And I also drew metal that day, so we have a metal little bead dangle here. And this is one of our pull tab pocket tags that I made, and it has napkin and a little piece of the guest check that was left, fabric at the top that's just put on there, and it is a paint chip. My mom actually has that bird at her house. I guess my dad has it at his house now. So this is from the Jane Austen, address book. Here is a ticket paper clip, and that was for receipt or ticket. And it has a ticket, it has a flinch card, it has, this is a piece of the washi tape that I made, some bling, messy thread, a little butterfly, and a fluffy flower. So I'll be able to come in and put something in there on top of the cactus, which will be fine because the cactus will still be behind it. That'll be really cool. And so we'll just put the book pocket right there. So next we have a top tuck, and you see that paper clip is helping to keep that closed. And this was made with the napkin, and then we also have journal space lined there. And I glued this on. So if you find the video about top tuck, you can see how I used glue. I used this instead of Mod Podge. So, and you can watch that. So this is now a pocket, and it could hold, you know, maybe this pocket, or a note paper or something. So, and then there's this one, and I like it because there's pretty things behind it. Here's the signature, the center of this signature, and I again did the bead and the button. I did the glue here, and I have this piece to still put something on, because I think I'm going to actually, I'm going to go through and find a piece of her jewelry and put it in here. Okay, so next we have, this is a Chinese kumquat, I think, or Japanese kumquat. It looks like lemons, and they compare it to lemons, so I was like, okay, she loved lemons, we'll put that in there. More Easter egg die paper. This is guest book paper, and this is the other side of the thank you card, and I'm gonna I'll turn it into a pocket eventually. And there's the other side of the stencil that didn't have a stencil in it. And so look at this, there's just so many pages I'll be able to fill up. Look at this dresser with stuff in it. She would have done that. Okay, so this is our third and final signature, and we have our extra large paper clip. I had to stencil and fussy cut on that, so I did this really big tag. There's messy thread, and so there's messy thread on here, there's flowers, there's bling, and then it is a large paper clip, so a butterfly clasp paper clip, or angel clip. Yeah, so these are really good. They'll hold a whole bunch of stuff in here, and you know, we do have a couple of these green tags hanging around over here. Let's put, this was her favorite color. Well, kind of this more. Okay, so let's turn this. We have all kinds of stuff here. We have bling and paper flowers, which we've had all over in here. This is our pull tab pocket. We had to use of fabric, postage stamp, and napkin or tissue. So we have our postage stamp, our use of fabric. It is our pull tab pocket. I haven't put it on yet. I think this is where I'm going to put it. I'm not positive. I was actually looking at the back of one of the signatures, possibly. Then we have our little, the pull tab tag, and it has the bird from the napkin, and I did it so that it was kind of in the flowers. This is one of the cards that I got in my my vintage kit from Dearjuliejulie, and then there's also a little postage stamp, so that will go in there. And we have this that says escape, and it is just a little paint chip. We have some Edith Holden paper, some more paper. This is when I was making the programs for her celebration of life. This is one of the ones that I had, and so I thought, you know what, I can put it in there, maybe tell the story about making the program. Here we have a poem about daffodils, and then springtime, another one of those pretty bags, some more papers, lots more papers, the yellow paper from the Easter egg die, and my mom, these are from last Easter, and she was here when we were doing this, so yeah, so some graph paper. This is the center of this signature, and this one has a cross and a button. Okay, and an empty one to have something else. Some more yellow. Look at all these papers that I get to use. Look at this. Every memory has painted this perfect day with colors that never fade. And we find at the end of a perfect day the soul of a friend we've made. So, don't we have fun together? Just think. So lots and lots of space. Here is part of the obituary, my mom's obituary. So that will be in there, and then some more Edith Holden, and that, and then the large pocket in the back. So I'm really, really excited. Whoops, excuse me, to have this set up and be able to start working in it. So possibly on Mondays, I might do, do a series, Memories of Mom, working in my journal, and I will be decorating it and using things that I find around that I just, one of the things that happens is I go, oh my gosh, I saw this, and I want to tell her. So, yeah. Or the other day when I went shopping and I looked at the magazines, and you guys, I haven't had, I buy those crafting magazines that come with the stamps, and I know they're expensive, but I haven't bought any just plain old regular magazines. My mom and dad have like she got all of them. All those House Beautiful and all those, and I got them as hand-me-downs, and I was in the checkout line, and there was a magazine, kind of caught my eye, and until it was $12.95 for a magazine with no stamps, no dies, no embossing folder. I was like, yeah, no. Oh, I guess I'll be reading magazines online. So there we go. So I might actually, I'm looking at this now, and I know that I like when it lays like this, but when it gets fatter, I might need to cut, but I like that. I like that. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. I might have to cut those down. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of my May Mystery Mayhem Junk Journal. And are you ready for June? Just 2 more days. Oh my goodness. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Have an amazing day. Thanks for being here. Bye.